Good morning. How are you? We should play some music while we're getting ourselves together instead of me. When you look back at these videos and we're getting ready to start and I'm waiting on my guests, it's all these antics going on. I'm like, oh my God, Simone, you really need to edit these videos. I don't have any patience for editing. So as it flows, it flows. Hey, Carmel Beauty, good morning. Good afternoon. Tranquility Masters, good morning. It's coming on now. We get things on and popping. All right, when she comes on, I have to pin her. Hey, girl, you.
Hey.
Hey.
Hey, good morning.
Good morning. Good afternoon. It's 12 my time, but it's 1 yours. I pretty want to be.
Oh, we're well into the afternoon here. Some of the cooking and whatnot going on, so you hear the pot, clanking in the back a little bit. That's the
what
king,
are you cooking?
Oh no, that's the king. He's cooking. I'm just looking pretty today.
I love it. I absolutely love that. Well, Katrina, thank you for agreeing to come on Sacred Conversations with me this afternoon. You know, I had approached Michelle. What's her Oso? I can't remember.
Ocean?
I can't remember. Ocean, yes.
Yes.
To come on and talk about it, Yoni Health. And she says, no, girl, you got to talk to Katrina. I'm like, oh shit, I forgot. Yeah, so I says, let me reach out to you the same time because I completely forgot, the vajayjay is your thing.
Oh, that's life for you, it's all good.
Yeah. But she's a sweetheart. I loved her forever. We went to.
Oh yeah, definitely. She's a star.
Yeah, we went to secondary school together. Folks who don't know what secondary school
is. Oh, okay.
Yeah, we went to Korjampari together. So, that's my sweet pea. But again, thank you for coming on. So we're gonna drop right into it. First, before we do that, let me pin you. Oh, you're stuck. Oh, you were stuck just now, but you're back up and running.
I was the one who was stuck. Okay. I wasn't seeing you.
Oh, okay. So let me pin your IG so that folks can find you as we move along.
Okay, fine.
Right? I'm gonna post it. I really should have done this as we were starting, but I got so caught up.
Do I need to have my models? My Yoni models?
Well, if you want to, I always have. Let me see what this Yoni model is. Why every time I try to pin something, it don't pin?
Oh, okay. I got a number of Yoni models.
Oh.
A number of them.
Okay. Oh, here we go. Pin comment.
It's pin?
Yes. So it's pin.
We got this baby girl here.
Oh, nice. Okay, so let's get right into it then, because I want to see.
Okay, let's do that.
Yes. So you have 21 years as a communication specialist.
Oh, over 21 now.
Well, it's more than 21 now. Good afternoon, Lisa. You keep sticking. I know we're in Barbados and the Wi-Fi is like not the best. So the audience, you have to bear with us because she's coming. I should have said that in the beginning. She's coming live from Barbados. So we all know that the Caribbean does not have the best Wi-Fi, which still in 2021 blows my mind. So she's stuck on my end and there she's gone. So we're going to try and get her back. So just bear with us. Let me see if I can get her again. And we can start over. All right, I just sent her a request and we'll see where she comes up. Hi, Tiffany. Hi, Camille. Hi, Lisa. Never seen you on here before. Ha, 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 ha. All right, so again, Katrina is coming from Barbados. Hi, darling.
I'm back. Okay. I don't know if it's my Wi-Fi, so I just jumped on to my phone's data. So
okay,
yeah,
all right.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah. I was just explaining to the audience that you're in Barbados.
Oh,
and
yes.
Because a lot of folks don't know, and the
Oh,
Wi-Fi in the Caribbean is not the best, but
I
hopefully
know.
we get to 2021 with it at some point.
Yeah. It's been pretty good recently, but I think my household maybe just loaded. Lots of
Loaded.
big
I
household.
got you.
Yeah.
I got you. All right. So in reading your bio, you have 21 years as a communication specialist, and you have been. How do we get from a communication specialist to talking about yoni health and pelvic health and all things feminine? How did we get there?
It started as a personal journey. Simone. So just to take you back quickly, it was approximately just about 12 years ago. I was on my fourth child, and I was in it back then. This is when Facebook group used to be like really vibrant. So I was in this all women's Facebook group, and they were talking about yoni eggs. And so I, being a mother of four, at that point, my pelvic floor muscles were like eggshells. They were shot. I was suffering from incontinence, stress incontinence, urinary incontinence, and I had a period of 10 to 14 days a month of huge clots coming out, and I was like totally incapacitated for the first 3 days, and the pain was debilitating. So it started there. So when these women told me about the yoni egg, I went and researched. Well, they didn't tell me, they were discussing yoni eggs. So I'm the kind of person that I like to do my own research as well too. So I did my research and whatnot, and then I purchased my first yoni egg and a book from one of the vanguards in the industry. And using that, I started to read the book first. It took me like about 4 to 6 months to read the book because I saw the holistic approach to using the yoni eggs as opposed to the nuki tightening aspect that the women in the group were talking about. And it blew me away. Then when I started to use the egg, at that point, it was also in a 4-year abusive relationship. And when I started to use the egg, I just found a love for myself that was so fierce. And
really,
long story short, I healed myself physically. So my pelvic floor muscles were back, tonicity had come back normal. I didn't have the bladder prolapse, and my periods reduced to 3 days, no cramping, no clotting, nothing like that. And so I healed myself not only physically, but then I was able to find a love for myself so strong that I was able to gain the courage to leave that abusive relationship and then heal myself from that abusive relationship afterwards. So when I saw the transformation within myself, I was like, oh, I know so many women that have gone through, if not an abusive relationship, having issues with their period or PCOS, endometriosis, fibroids. I was like, I have to share this information with sisters. And so I started telling them, oh, you've got to get a yoni egg. You have to get a yoni egg. And they were like, okay, really? What do you do? And I was like, well, this. And they were like, what? Being in the Caribbean, you put what? Where? And everybody was looking at me like, no, Missy. And I was like, okay, I had a dream one night. And in this dream, it was a room full of women, and we were laughing and dancing and talking and crying. And I was at the front of the room, and when I looked behind me, there was a silhouette of a yoni egg. And when I woke from this dream, I said, Katrina, you need to take this to another level. And that's when I started Waves of Bliss, and then Orgasmik Intelligence was birthed afterwards. So that's where it came from. It came from a personal journey where I've been able to heal myself and then just be able to help facilitate, share techniques and tools with women to help them do the same.
Wow, I never knew. That's incredible. One, two, I didn't know the Yoni egg could do all that.
Yeah, Yoni egg is an anchor. Like people say that.
I thought it just worked with the muscles of your vagina, of your yoni, but then you mentioned a whole other set of things.
Yeah, it's layers upon layers upon layers. Yeah.
Right. So let's take it back a bit for those who don't understand. Because we're calling the vagina a different thing. And folks get very sensitive when you don't call it a vagina. I call mine precious.
Oh, that's sweet.
So anytime, yeah. So anytime I'm talking about my vagina, I don't say vagina. Whatever the conversation is, and I don't know why I'm talking about my vagina with other people outside of my OBGYN. But that's a different story. But I call it precious. So what is yoni? What is a yoni?
Right. So the word yoni is actually taken from the Sanskrit, and it means sacred space, which is the vaginal canal, the uterus, the surrounding organs, that area there, which we also refer to as the womb space. That's what the yoni is. It's the meaning of it is sacred space.
Okay. So what are some of the practices that I can do to maintain a healthy yoni? I've been seeing some wild things recently on one of these gossip pages that I follow. They're advertising like these pearls that you place up, and I mean the comments get wild because apparently this thing. So tell me, what are some of the best practices for a healthy yoni?
Okay, the first thing, let me say, I am not an advocate. I do not recommend, neither do I sell yoni pearls, okay? Because yoni pearls, as many testimonials you're seeing and videos and graphic photos you're seeing, the yoni is not meant to purge and cleanse so severely. So in many of these pictures, what you're seeing of the results of using the yoni pearls is actually like the lining of the vaginal canal, so your tissue, also the white blood cells that are attacking what is considered a foreign object, because herbs are so strong and potent. Not only that, these packages are oftentimes come in ready packaged. These yoni pearls are coming ready packaged from different parts of the world, and people are just pretty much affixing their branding onto the package and selling. So no one is really, to my knowledge, actually like verifying the contents of these packets. So definitely, so no yoni pearl usage. I don't recommend them at all. Some of the practices, though, for sure, is one, wearing light panties, underwear. Okay, so cotton, something really light. Wearing no panties at all. So allowing her to breathe. It doesn't have to be when you're out. It could be at night when you go to sleep or when you're just walking around the house. You gotta let her breathe. Just like how you let your face breathe.
When you said that, I remembered. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, TMI. Okay, no problem. Yeah.
Luckily, he's not on IG. But you continue. Don't let me distract you with my madness.
Okay. All right. No problem. So just let that my way.
No.
Yeah. So vaginal semen, though, this is a very good practice. It's had a resurgence over the last few years, and this is based in ancient techniques, ancient practices, which date back hundreds of years in Suriname, places in Central America and South America, China, in India as well. And actually in India, many of the doctors, because they're so rooted in their culture, many of the medical gynecologists, doctors actually will recommend yoni semen, or vaginal semen as it's often called, because it's so ingrained in their culture. So vaginal semen is a very good, but the thing about it is that when you're looking for a vaginal semen therapist, don't be afraid to ask them questions, because many people might think that, oh, it's just putting some herbs together, boiling them, and having somebody sit on it. That's the basics of it, but there's way more to it. So make sure it's a credible, well-experienced, qualified, if necessary, vaginal steam therapist that you're looking to attend. Mm-hmm. Another thing is that with washing your yoni, and I'm speaking now specifically about the vulva. I'm speaking about just this baby girl right here, just the outside. Mm-hmm. Okay, if you can't see her good there, I'm talking about right here, just the vulva. Mm-hmm. So I'm talking about the labia majora, minora, clitoris, and this area. When you're washing, that's all you need to do. Just what? Do not be putting soap or anything, because there are people that have soap, put soap on their hands. I've had women who put the soap inside to clean. That's a no-no. You just want to wash her, and you don't even really need soap. If you're going to use a soap, a nice simple soap is good, or some herbs as well too, like some herb infused water, and just gently wash her. Don't use those really heavy, loofahs and the other scrubbers that are made of nylon. Yeah, don't use those. Just gently use your fingers to wash her and just rinse. And she does not need to be washed like 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times a day with soap. Okay? Even during your cycle. And there are even some practices in traditional culture where when a woman is menstruating, she actually does not wash the vulva at all. And I'm going to throw this, I'm going to throw this, wash it with soap and stuff. It's just with water. Okay, so just with water. So I'm going to throw this challenge out there to the women, your listeners. Next time you're on your cycle, just try it, okay? If you want to do it twice. So when you first have a bath, wash your vulva without any soap, okay? So if those of you are too squeamish and, you don't want, you're like, what I go on and something smells? No, it won't be the case. But if you're really squeamish, do it when you are home, the whole day. And then in the evening, I want you to wash your vulva with soap and notice the odor that you get when you're washing the soap. It's remarkable, especially during the cycle, that with soap seems, it just amplifies the smell of the blood and whatnot. But when you just use water, cleaning her the same way, you don't get that pungent odor. So that's the challenge I'm throwing out. Some of the other healthy practices are definitely paying attention to what we put inside. So we spoke about the yoni pearls already, but even with yoni eggs, I know we're going to speak about yoni eggs, but even with yoni eggs, you want to ensure that any and everything that you see shaped as an egg that's made of a crystal or a stone is not necessarily a yoni egg. So, and then even the yoni eggs that are made of a crystal that are safe for inserting into the vaginal canal, that crystal might have been highly processed. So it has additional additives that are not safe for insertion into the vaginal canal. So even the toys that people use, sex toys that women use, some of them are made of rubber latex, which is not safe for the vaginal canal. Even during sexual intercourse with a penis, try to use non-latex condoms as much as possible. So those are some of the healthy practices. And speak to her. She speaks to you. So have conversation with her.
Well, I talk to mine.
Definitely. Definitely. Need to commune with her.
I talk to
my. And she answers you.
Huh?
You get responses as well.
Yeah, well, most of our discussions is when she asks me about someone I'm not dealing with anymore. She's like, so what become of this person? I'm like, yeah, we're not going there anymore. It's like, we're not going there anymore. I mean, yeah, you enjoyed it, but there were other things that, whereas we
Yeah.
weren't compatible. So every now and again, she reminds me of someone that she totally enjoyed.
You
And
know,
that brings me to the pH balance thing. But you go ahead.
no, I just wanted to say, and that's a very good point, because what's happening is that you always want to make sure that your womb space, so your yoni, and your heart are aligned, because sometimes, that ex that used to just hit the right spot,
Yes,
she might be
certainly.
remembering him, but you want to make sure if you get that heaviness in your heart, or those who are doing that really deep work, your third eye is showing you like that's a no. You just tell her, okay, you cool yourself down, all right? We're
Yeah,
not going there, right?
yeah.
So it's always important to make sure that your womb space, your heart, and those who are doing deeper work, as I said, third eye, are aligned before you move forward, because we don't want to be falling victim to our sexual urges right now in this time, because
Correct.
when that happens, you then will have regrets, and then regrets cause a whole set of other stuff. So yes, she might have a mind of her own, but we need to keep her in check. Make sure that that heart is feeling at ease. If it's not feeling at ease, and then there are times when your heart, somebody might just come and sweep you off your feet, like, oh my gosh, most beautiful person, your heart is fluttering and whatnot. And then when you have a first intimate moment with the person, she's not talking, you're not getting aroused, not getting, not getting wet or anything like that. Honor that. Okay? That means we're not in alignment. You don't have permission to move forward. So just take it easy. It doesn't mean that you need to turn away from the person, but just slow it down, get to know them. Somebody says she's very hard-headed at times.
Listen, don't mind that girl Ebony accent, sir. She is stressed. She is stressed. And for you to understand why she is stressed, her name is also Simone Arthur. So do not get tired. Do not focus on Ebony accent's comment, because we would be in here on the floor the entire hour. And now Camille's jumping in. It is the worst. But I want to talk about this thing with pH balance, how these men can really offset your yoni. And a lot of women don't know this because they figure that the issue is with them. They did something wrong. It's infection, this is soap. But sometimes your intimate partner could be the issue. Can you talk about this whole pH balance thing?
Yeah, so the vaginal canal or vagina is a pH balance. We're acid, okay? All right? So when people think that you have an acid vagina, that's a bad thing. No, that's actually a good thing. So that means that the natural flora can thrive, and everything is beautiful. She smells divine. And now when I say divine, I don't mean that she smells like cherries or pineapple or anything like that. She smells how she's supposed to smell. So you need to ensure that in maintaining your pH balance, your partner is not only your partner, you doing your cleaning, your cleansing, you're eating correctly, and as well as your partner, you want to ensure that, unless, of course, is the case where you are trying to conceive, you don't want to allow the semen to stay in for, you don't want the semen to stay in. So, yes, you can allow your partner to ejaculate, but you need to stand up afterwards, sit up afterwards to allow it to flow back out, because that can sometimes offset your pH balance. Sometimes. With some women, like for me, I had one lover that used to offset my pH balance. He was a toxic guy, so let's not go into that. His whole everything, but that was when I was still learning. So please, I want your viewers, your listeners to understand, I'm not here on a soapbox, okay? Stand up preaching to the choir or anything like that. What is happening is that I have been there. I've made my mistakes. I have, it's still a journey. I'm still learning. So when I speak about not allowing toxic men to come into your life, or even for brothers as well too, not allowing toxic women. It is real. It is a real thing. Okay, so with the pH balance, you can test your pH balance as well too with the strip, the litmus strip. I think it's the litmus strip. You can get that from a pharmacy and test the pH balance. But you want to ensure at all times that you are feeding her what she needs. What she needs. Not what she wants, but what she needs. Okay, so that's important. But I saw someone mention a comment earlier asking about if she's not responsive to her boyfriend or husband. Yeah, that's happening a lot, and that is where your whole energy has been shifted. So you have to think about in your relationship, what is your partner doing or not doing that is no longer fulfilling your relationship, not fulfilling you. So that's where a conversation, like a heavy conversation, needs to happen between you and your partner. Okay. You also need to ensure that you're taking time for self. Because we as women, we need to be, because our natural energy which flows through us, which is both yin and yang, both masculine and feminine energy, but our divine is the feminine divine. That's our life force. But because of the society that we live in, we're always pushing this yang energy, this masculine energy, always doing, when we need to take time to be. Every single day, you need to take time for yourself to be. And I'm not just speaking about reading a book or watching TV or even just scrolling through social media. I'm speaking about just being, just lying down in a comfortable position. It doesn't have to be like on your back, but in a comfortable position where you're just being, allowing your mind to it may be hard because, our minds are always going, but gradually allowing your mind to come to stillness and just cultivating that feminine energy. She needs that. Your Yoni needs that. She really does. And you need that because that's your life force. But we're oftentimes out of balance because society is out of balance. But we as women, we need to take back our power and just be 5, 10, 15 minutes a day, twice a day if you can. If you could get it in 3 times a day, that would definitely help. So there are practices. That's just a simple one, but there are other practices as well. Another one that I forgot to mention, a good practice for Yoni, healthy Yoni, is Yoni breathing. Oh. Where you are actually not only manipulating the vaginal muscles and the pelvic floor muscles, but you are visualizing that you're breathing through your vaginal canal, through your Yoni, and in that same time you're breathing in the beautiful cosmic energy, and you're breathing out and releasing all the stagnant, unwanted energy, the trauma, the things that you may be aware of and that you may not be aware of. Yeah.
I got you.
Yoni massage. That's another good one. Clitoral massage. Solo cultivation.
Okay.
And when you say solo cultivation, it's better known as masturbation, but I refer to it as solo cultivation.
Solo cultivation.
Cultivation, yeah. Because masturbation is pretty much just about busting a nut. Hi, Joanne. That's one of my team members there joining.
Oh, okay. Hi, Joanne.
Yeah.
What about hair removal? I saw a comment, hair removal. I saw a comment the other day where this lady was saying she thought it was insane that women were removing the hair using laser treatment. Right. And I was like, that's interesting because that's a bunch of radiation in that area. And she was saying we really should not have that close to our reproductive organs. What is your thoughts on hair removal? And if, some of us, it can't be there for whatever reasons. If we're a model or what is the best one to use?
Well, everyone is different. There's some women who will get huge, profuse numbers of hair bumps if they use a razor. And then there's the hair removal cream that also contains chemicals, which can be harmful. There is a sugar waxing, and then there's sugar waxing. The sugar waxing tends to be a more natural process. But as far as hair, it really comes down to a personal choice, Simone.
Okay.
So, you know, no judgment. There's some women that love hair, and it grows long and bushy, and you know, the hair has a purpose, okay? The hair helps attract bacteria to stop it from actually entering the vaginal canal and whatnot. But if it's a case where whenever you take off your underwear or you get it from sitting, you know, you can have this odor, either really sweaty or a strong odor that because, you know, the hair is not allowed to dry after you had your bath or whatnot, then, you know, we need to, you know, everything is a balance. So I'm neither against hair or for hair. I think it's a personal choice. But the Brazilian wax can be pretty painful, but there's some women who love it because afterwards it actually prevents the hair from growing back as bushy and as thick. So it comes down to a personal choice.
Personal choice.
Okay. Yeah.
I could rock with that. What are the best foods and or herbs that you can use to, you know, for your yoni?
Okay, well, she doesn't like a lot of sugar and not a lot of salt, for sure. The entire body. But, you know, stay away. But lots of fruit, water. So water is very good because you always want her to stay succulent. If she's dry, then she's telling you, uh-oh, something's wrong. I need attention. Okay, so she needs to be moist because that's how she helps to clean herself. That's how she stays vibrant and succulent. The fruit, definitely. So pretty much any fruit is pretty good. Obviously, everything in moderation. Herbs that are good for her, either for drinking or for doing as a vaginal steam. Would definitely be red raspberry. In the Caribbean, we call it daniama. That's another very good herb as well. You can drink it as a tea or do it in the steam. Yarrow, pretty much any herb that has affiliation with the reproductive system or with what we say a feminine vibration are good. So we have as well shell ginger is another good one that we find here locally, and that helps with fibroids. So yoni health can be for maintenance or to actually help heal from some kind of gynecological issue. So there are different herbs that we would use for different ailments or just for good maintenance.
Okay. This platform, Sacred Conversations, was created to discuss different spiritual practices or different spiritual wellness practices. And how does our yoni for women, of course, we're really on the ones that carry, can help with our spiritual wellness and on our spiritual journeys?
Your womb space, okay?
Sure.
Your womb space. Everything. This is the uterus, and this even goes for women who have had either partial or full hysterectomy. Although they may not have the uterus along with the fallopian tubes and ovaries, understand it's still the sacred space. Why? Because that's where you had your first shot of life, so to speak, when you were conceived, the umbilical cord. So that was your first energy, your first shot of chi. That's that spirit energy. So understanding that when you cultivate your womb space, it's also the birthing, the gestation space when you not only choose to birth children, or if you can birth children, but if you choose to birth ideas, projects. This is our power source. And the power always comes down to chi, to spirit. When you honor the womb space, you will see there's a different aura that your whole aura changes when you take time to revere and honor, which is the belly of, whether not the belly, the womb space of which every single walking human being, as far as I know, came from. It's a portal between the ancestral realm and this realm.
And this realm.
Only portal that we are aware of that comes through human, through one. Okay. So your spirituality, my practices have a very, very strong spiritual underpinning, and not religious, but a very spiritual underpinning. And that's very important. That's why when women come to me for, especially they will find it if they want to come to get a yoni egg, sometimes they will be thinking about, oh, they want to feel good for their partner, or, you know, they're getting married, so they want their husband to feel this. And when they go on this journey for anything outside of themselves, they can be sorely disappointed. The important thing is to start with self. Do it for self first. And then that's where it will bloom and flourish, and everything around you and everybody around you will be pretty much happy. So it's definitely from within, spiritually, physically as well, but that spiritual, energetic energy, and then it's awesome. Like a lotus flower opening up. Yeah. Spirituality is very, very important.
Yeah. For any life change that you're going through, and any part of your life journey, you should have some kind of spiritual practice, you know, to just help you to manage everything that you're going through. And I think a lot of us are have come to that realization more since the beginning of this decade and the madness that the entire world is going through right now. What about any ideas or suggestions, I should say, for women who are going through menopause and some of the side effects of that, like the dryness of the vagina, and, you know, how they can still enjoy sex with their partners? How do we deal with that?
Yeah, so one of the things is that when, for some women, not all women, when they're going through menopause or they're in the perimenopausal phase, they lose their libido drop. And then they're no longer interested in sex or self-pleasure. You need to kind of like reverse that in your mind. So I always recommend start with solo cultivation. Remembering that pleasure is your birthright. I've found that some women, who are going either in the perimenopausal or the menopausal phase, tend to just totally block any kind of self-pleasure. Shut down altogether. And I'm not even talking about a partner. And I can understand that, at that stage, having a partner might be too much of a headache or whatever the case is, but even to take care of themselves, they will make sure, and I'm just generalizing, okay, so don't come at me. The nails are done, the hair is done, the makeup is perfect, and nice shoes and clothes and bags and whatnot. But they're not doing that inner work, which is important. So definitely, though, preparing for, if you're going through the perimenopausal or menopausal phase, mention the Yoni egg, effective and consistent use of the Yoni egg. It's a very good practice. Yoni breathing is a very good practice. Ensuring that you keep your pelvic floor muscles strong and keep them working is a very good practice as well. And you don't even need to insert anything into the vaginal canal to work your pelvic floor muscles. Knowing how to do a Kegel correctly. Because if you don't use it, you're going to lose it. So the vaginal canal, the pelvic floor muscles are muscles. So if you don't use them, guess what's going to happen? Atrophy is going to step in, and that's when we have then the prolapse, vaginal prolapse, uterine prolapse. You have the leakage of urine when you sneeze, cough, or laugh. These are things that we are taught that as you get older, oh, it's supposed to happen. When women get older, oh, you're supposed to have a dry vagina. Oh, you're not supposed to want to feel sexy, or your vagina is, you're not supposed to feel horny anymore. That's BS. We are orgasm machines. We are sexual, sensual beings. So I plan, me, Katrina Michelle Eiffel, I plan to go to the grave.
Yeah.
As goddess. You know what I'm saying? Yes, very true. So somebody says pleasure is our birthright. Yes, it is. Harmless pleasure. Let me put in that there. Harmless pleasure. Once you're not causing any harm to yourself or to anyone else, definitely it is our birthright.
You know, I thought about our discussion this week because there's this new app called Clubhouse, right?
Clubhouse.
Clubhouse, yeah.
Mentioned that.
Yeah, you have to have an iPhone to be a part of it. And you have to be invited. Well, you know how it is. So, and you have to be invited. Yeah, you have to be invited to be a part of this app. But they're working to make it, you know, for other phones. So anyhow, I'm not going to go into the whole thing with it, but I was in this particular room because it's like a house. Just imagine a house with different rooms, right? And in each room, there's a conversation. So I went into a room and the room was just full of sex workers, right?
Oh.
Yeah. And they were answering questions from anybody in regards to their work. And, you know, I wondered about the women who are sex workers, whether they are porn stars or whatever. How do they manage, when we talk about energy, you know, and attracting this energy, how do they manage this when their work is, you know, all these different energies coming at them? And so, you know, I thought about that in a way, like how, and I had actually sent the flyer to an organization that manage these folks, and to let them, you know, to let their members come on and watch something like this. Because I'm thinking that women who have to do this, who use their unique for a living, right? Yeah. That this kind of conversation is still important for them, and how they can manage that energy and manage, you know, maintain a healthy Yoni.
Yes, I actually have worked with sex workers here in Barbados, and I taught them the practices, because it's whatever your choice, whatever your profession, whether you use your Yoni for money or you use your Yoni for pleasure, you use your Yoni for manipulation, whatever you choose, it's very important that you understand how to clear the energy.
Yes.
So I've had not only clients but friends who have had multiple partners, and one of the underlying things is the sex is fantastic. They love it. They have the most phenomenal orgasms, whatever the case is. But at the core of it, they're not fully happy. Right? They're not fully happy. And when those who allow me to go through the process of clearing energy, they find the pleasure, or some will actually decide not to. They will make other life choices. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
So understanding how to harness energy, transmute energy, and cleanse energy from the womb space, very, very important technique. So definitely, I always choose to work with probably some of the most challenging cases, because when I see breakthroughs, that's when it's like really hits home for me, like this is my life purpose.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's my life purpose. Although the money right now is not flowing for whatever reason, I still find so much pleasure, so much peace in just being able to help women heal themselves, help them to inform themselves. It's a life calling.
Right. And I appreciate you and I thank you for following that life calling, huh? Because even when at the days and times it doesn't, and I'm in the same boat, it doesn't, come through for us financially at a particular time, that's really when when we're tested as to, we're going to stick with this. But I find during those times is when we get really creative in different ways we can, expand our brand and introduce new products and new services to attract a new clientele. So I fully understand. I fully understand where you are with that. You posted a petition that annoyed me. This was a petition that to get the nerves of the clitoris into the American College of OBGYN curriculum. I couldn't understand why you have a curriculum dealing with a woman's reproductive system, dealing with her vagina, and we're not discussing the nerves in that area, or we're not talking about the nerves in that area, or we're not doing research about nerves. Like, I cannot believe we're still here in 2021 with this nonsense. And it leaves me to think, well, shit, have they missed anything? Like maybe something, they diagnosed something was wrong, but it could have been a nerve issue, but they wouldn't have able to know that because they haven't studied the nerves in the clitoris. What the fuck is that?
Yeah, it's, it just all comes down to how the patriarchal system is just perpetuated, not only by men, but some women as well too. And so the medical fraternity, it has its place. So they have to remember that people have been practicing medicine thousands of years before there was the medical fraternity. Okay, so that petition was actually started by one of my IT associate colleagues, Jessica, and she's not actually a doctor or anything like that. But just to briefly share a story, and she has it public. She went through surgery on her clitoris, and she experienced tremendous damage because the surgeons were not aware of the dorsal nerve that runs through the clitoris, and so she's been experiencing trauma since then. So since then, she it's been her duty. This is her calling. She's done research and she's gone to associations, doctors, colleges that teach medicine to get them to please insert the proper, the full anatomy of the clitoris, especially for OBGYNs who are doing surgery on the clitoris. And so that's an ongoing fight for her. So when I met her on IT and I saw her purpose and her fight, I was like, oh yeah, this is definitely, and I actually learned a lot from her as well too. But she is battling a tremendous fight with. I say full kudos to her.
Yeah, I'll check it out. I'll check it out some more for sure.
Yeah,
because
her name is Jessica. Yeah, I'll give you her name, but Jessica. I just her first name is just coming to me at this time.
Yeah,
but it's necessary.
Start to follow her and support her, and what she's doing.
This is why we still have to be fighting. It shouldn't be this. Because each and every one of those doctors comes through a woman, but the penis, the anatomy of the penis is elaborate, great detail and whatnot. But they think like, I guess the same reason they think like, the clitoris has no function. No real part. Just like there's no, and I don't even want to call it the G-spot, because the G-spot is named after a man as well, too. Go figure. You know,
even up here in the U.S., when we have the Mexican immigrants at the border, there's a situation where the doctors were performing hysterectomy on women and they didn't even know. And this is last year. They butchering these women, and the women didn't have a clue that's what they're going in for. And you can imagine it could have been like a language barrier, or the women are saying, well, we're going to just do this help us get into the United States. I mean, it is just insane and ridiculous, the stuff that women have to go through in these times, and still fight for shit like you fully understanding that there's nerves in in the clitoris. That's insane. That's insane. So listen, tell me about your brand and the services you offer, and specifically speak to any services that individuals outside of Barbados can, get from you. Tell us about your brand.
Okay. So Orgasmik Intelligence, so there are two brands. I have Orgasmik Intelligence and there's Ways of Bliss. So I do service clients outside of Barbados. So I do the coaching. So I do the Sensual Empowerment coaching online. I also offer certification courses, one in Yoni breathing instructor as well too. And I do the one-on-one sessions and also online. Well, actually you can go on my website. I don't think the full schedule is up for 2021, but on the website, Orgasmik with a K, intelligence.com. You can go there and you can see what is coming up. But we offer as I said, the certification courses. We do online webinars as well too, in active self-love, in squirting, in the art of orgasm, and all those nice juicy things. And also I do a couple of sessions online as well too. Vaginal semen, for those who are based in Barbados, we offer that service. We also sell the vaginal semen herbs, which have a very a heavy influence of local herbs as well too. And we also do the V-Steam certification courses. So Ways of Bliss, bb.com, or Orgasmik with a K, intelligence.com. You can also find us on IG, Facebook, and Orgasmik Intelligence on YouTube.
Joyanne is asking if this is being recorded, and yes. So when we're finished, I post it on my timeline, and then Katrina has it to post on her social media platforms. I also have readings by Simone YouTube channel. So I usually try to post it by Monday noon on YouTube. But I've been just all over the place. So I've made a decision that right after the show, I'm in that energy of sacred conversations. I'm still in that mood. Post on YouTube the same time.
Oh, beautiful. Good stuff.
Yeah. So I need to go with the flow with things while the energy is still there, instead of waiting till the next day, pick up the energy again. And I have to, I'm working, what is that?
A work in progress.
Yes, a work in progress.
Exactly. And remember to be gentle with yourself.
Yes.
Everyone, remember to be, especially in this climate we're in right now. Remember to be gentle with ourselves.
Yes. And be patient with our healing.
Yes,
tell them
definitely.
About
no, I had one of the members of the household answer.
And be patient. Where do you want to see your brand go from here? What is your ultimate goal and dream for your brand?
My ultimate goal and dream, to have Orgasmik Intelligence franchises have it franchised throughout the globe. Definitely. That is my dream, to have sensual empowerment coaches who are working in the brand and pushing and helping and healing women throughout the world. Ultimately, my dream is to be able to have orgasmic intelligence, waves of bliss, fully functioning on their own, and I can step away for a minute, if I choose to, for either for self-rejuvenation, self-healing, for a period of time, and it's still thriving. That's where I like to be. Yeah.
Yeah. But I should have asked this earlier, but it just came to me. What advice would you give to a man to help his partner with her yoni health?
Allow her to be feminine. So he might wonder, like, how the hell did I get that done? Just know that she will need time for herself. Give her time for herself. I mean, I actually say, baby, this is your time. You go into your room, chill, you relax, you get some rest, and I'll do exercise, I'll cook, I'll clean, whatever. Know that she needs time to rest as well. Men are phenomenal masters at finding time for themselves.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if you have your partner, she's a woman, and just know that as much as that time is vitally important for you as a man, it's the same for her. So allow her to have that time. Encourage her to have that time, because it might be a case where she's so accustomed doing that she's not even realizing it. So you say, baby, come. This is your time. You relax, and you take the day off at least once a week, at least. When you come home on evenings, let her go into her room and just lie down, relax for a bit. If she's coming in from work or whatever, coming in from the office, let her have. That's something I used to do even before I knew it was a practice. When I was in corporate Barbados and I came in from the office, I used to just go into my room and just eat and relax. And I didn't know that was an actual practice. Did that for about 15 minutes. Then I was able to get up and work and do whatnot. And my children learned that mommy's need time was vitally important. So they knew that unless the house was on fire or somebody was dying or choking or something, so don't disturb me.
Yeah.
So as mothers, single mothers, I was a single mother for a number of years. So single mothers, yes, I have 4 children. So understanding that you need to also teach your children that mommy needs her time as well. It's not going to happen overnight. You have to be consistent with it, and they will learn. My youngest one, who's now going on 12 this year, he was a little toddler. When he came into the room and he saw me just being, and opened the door, and I would peep to see, and he closed back the door, and he would tell the others, "Mommy's meditating," And he learned that from very early. Mommy, me time is like a mini vacation that you can choose to have at any time of the day.
I missed another question, and this is a very important question, because I usually like to end the show with your information, but I would repeat it. We didn't talk about fertility, right? And can you tell us how, what practices we can engage in if that is a challenge for before we even get to the stage of, okay, maybe we need to do some kind of procedure to help with that. What can she start with first before we get to that stage?
She can start by making sure she's getting enough rest and her body is getting the nutrients that it needs. That's priority. That you are eating less processed foods and eating more natural foods. So definitely eliminate or reduce significantly the processed foods. Also, even for someone who's not experiencing infertility, you need to prepare the womb before conception, because you want that when the conception occurs, that is in a strong environment that will help fully nourish that seed as it grows to a full child. But I've had very good success with vaginal semen and infertility. So many of my clients have having infertility issues or multiple miscarriages, and going through the Yoni vaginal semen has helped them. So I'm very happy to say I have some VC babies out there in Barbados that are either in utero or fully, out and walking and whatnot. So yes, and running around. Yeah.
Perfect. So
Yeah.
tell us again how to reach you. Give us your IG and your website.
Right.
And just let our overseas folks out of Barbados know that your services are still some of your services are still available to.
Yeah.
And don't forget, we have people moving from up here to Barbados. Yeah. So is now becoming a more closer community.
Yes. So that's very true. For the long stay stamp, we have many people coming into Barbados. Yeah, working remotely from here. So you can find us. I also do massage therapy as well too. I'm a certified massage therapist. Yes. So you can find me on Orgasmik Intelligence. That's Orgasmik with a K, intelligence.com, or waveofblissbb.com. We're also on IG, Orgasmik Intelligence, and on Facebook as well. Both Facebook and IG for Orgasmik Intelligence and Waves of Bliss. And if you want to contact me directly via phone, area code 246-266-GASM. That's 266-4276. And for those who are based in the U.S., you can call me or Canada, 718-880-7290. You can speak to Katrina or Sabrina or Joyanne. They can assist you as well too.
Wonderful. Katrina, thank you so much for being here. This was important for me to do. And like I tell folks, I always have a discussion around things that pop up in my readings, right? So oftentimes, fertility issue, Yoni issues, etc., may come up. And, spirit will say, well, you need to do this. You may need to take a Yoni steam. You may need to go to your OBGYN. If you're not responding down there, then something's wrong. There's an issue with your partner. So I always go back to what pops up in my spiritual readings with a client to decide, what the conversation would be, what topic we're going to discuss. And I want to thank you for coming and sitting with us today. It was an amazing conversation. I learned a lot too. Don't mind my little antics in the beginning, but I just think the conversation is so light and feminine and nice, and for us to really understand how to take care of ourselves. We bring life into this world. Yes, we connect with our partners to do it, but then we still have to carry this life for 9 months. This energy could be 10 pounds. Like, there's a lot going on. We didn't even get into how to take care of the Yoni after giving birth. How to take care of the Yoni if you... Yeah, we didn't even get into all that. So that only means you have to come back.
My pleasure.
That's all that is. See how I ease you into that one? That only means that you have to come back. And I've made a commitment also, I want to say this to you, to really pursue having a deeper discussion with sex workers. I want them to know of our services to take care of themselves. And so, that's why, when I was in the house listening to them, someone sent me a screenshot of my name and being in the house. So I was like, yeah, well, this is an interesting discussion to hear, these sex workers talk about how they have to maintain arousal. The man talking about how he had to maintain arousal to get the part done. So for that, for sure, I want to share your information with them so that they know that we have these services available to help them as they're doing what they need to do. Because we are not here to say, well, this is something you need to stop doing and do sign up. That's not my place.
No, definitely
not at all.
not here to
That's
judge.
not me.
No.
And I had to explain that to them because they have their guard up, which is rightfully so.
Right, of course.
Because society is not kind to them. And society is not kind to them.
Period.
Period. So for sure we're gonna have a part 2. And then once I figure out, what that discussion with them is going to be like, and I think they have to trust me first to make sure I'm not coming with them with some religious dogma, Right. So I will bring you on that, but we'll have a part 2. And, I still have a ton of other questions that I didn't even send to you, but I says, this would only encourage me to bring Katrina back.
And you didn't even answer, you didn't even do all the questions that you sent me either.
No. No, I didn't. But like I said, that's only me. You have to come back. Yeah. Thank you so much, Katrina. I want to thank those who, came online and listened. For those who don't know, my name is Simone Arthur. I have readings by Simone. I offer spiritual readings. You can like my page, follow Katrina's page as well, and also look for us on YouTube. Like and share the information you have here. Encourage your friends to watch the show and reach out to Katrina, if they have any more questions, or if, we didn't discuss something here and you didn't comfortable in posting the question, you can talk to her directly. Katrina, thank you. Tell your king I can smell the food from here.
Me too. I was hoping that you weren't here, my belly growling.
I don't have to go and figure out, my God, I don't have no king to cook for me yet.
Yet. Thank you. I love that.
Yeah, but I'm working on it.
All right.
I'm putting it in the universe. And
on that note, you want to be to yourself the kind of lover that you want to attract. So remember that.
Yes, for sure. Thank you so much, darling. You have a great Sunday, and we'll talk soon. Okay, bye-bye. Bye, everyone. Bye-bye.